Okay, so this summary video, remember it's just a summary, you need to dig into the details yourself, but Elizabeth becomes queen. Problems. What challenges does Elizabeth face when she becomes queen in 1558? So there's a bit displayed there, but 1558, she becomes queen at the age of 25. Key phrase, challenge. She's got so many challenges. Number one, she's a female. Remember, it's a patriarchal society. All the blokes around her think, women, they should do what we say, okay? Remember, the only other female ruler they've got to reference is her sister, Bloody Mary, who went crazy pretty much and killed everyone. So they don't have a great opinion of female rulers. That's problem number one. Number two, her dad divorced her mum. That makes her illegitimate in the eyes of lots of people. Her dad even declared her illegitimate. The Protestants back him. At the same time, the Catholics think Elizabeth is illegitimate and therefore can't be queen because they say her dad should never have married her mum in the first place because he was already married. It's a bit complex. Dig into that one. Make sure you know the names of the two first queens of Henry VIII. But the key point is, lots of people in England think she is illegitimate, i.e. shouldn't be queen. Next picture here. This is a wedding, right? As soon as Elizabeth becomes queen, everyone says, who's she going to marry? Who's she going to marry? And there's so much pressure on her to get married. But she does not want to get married for lots of reasons. Number one, if she gets married to a bloke, he's going to control her. Doesn't want that. If she marries a foreign prince from Scotland, France, Spain, that means that there'll be foreign influence. If she marries someone from an area of England, people will kick off and complain because she might be seen to be favouring a certain area. But the point is, any bloke she marries is going to be an issue because there's that whole thing about the man being the head of the wife. She also is a bit worried about dying in childbirth. So ultimately, Elizabeth becomes the virgin queen. She never gets married because of those issues. This one here, there is no money. When Elizabeth becomes queen, she's £300,000 in debt, right? There's been something happening in England called debasement, which basically means the money in England at this point is worth very little. It's not trusted. So Elizabeth will have a big problem with having enough money to fight wars to get her country back on a good footing. Same time, threats from foreign powers. That's got the Scottish hand and the French hand. There is a threat from Scotland to the north of England, and there's a threat from France to the south of England. These guys are buddies, Scotland and France. They have something called the Old Alliance, where they team up against England. That is a constant worry, especially at the start of Elizabeth's reign. This guy here, who's this grumpy guy? Well, this is the modern Pope. But the Pope back then did not like Elizabeth. Remember, she's a Protestant. That means that all Catholics are against her. There is the threat of foreign invasion backed by the Pope from Catholic countries who want a Catholic monarch. Over here, last one. This picture here shows the religious divide. There's a big issue in England about this division between religion. Officially, England is now a Protestant country, right? But there's loads of people up in the north and in the east who actually want to be Catholics, okay? It's only this sort of western southern region and London that is really Protestant. That religious split, that religious turmoil is going to be a major challenge, a major headache for Elizabeth. Loads of things to remember there. Make sure you know all these reasons, but we've got the fact she's female, the fact that many call her illegitimate, the pressure to marry, the lack of a strong economy, a strong money in England, the threat from Scotland and France, the Catholics and the Catholic countries being against her, and this religious split in the country. I'm going to give you one name to look up if you want to go a bit further. Mary, Queen of Scots. She's a problem. You find out why.